Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another time of possession. Your boys are back. It is time for one of the most exciting divisions, our second to last one of the offseason. We're talking about the NFC West right now, and obviously we have a Rams fan in the call. So we're going to be, and there is the super incredible. Yeah. Is that the salute to heroes? The
Oh yeah, it
salute.
is, huh? Yep. I just grabbed one I saw.
Nice, 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 nice. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, this division, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was going through it, I was having a very tough time predicting everything. Um, and we'll get to your Rams in a little bit, Tyler.
We
But
got some question
before,
marks.
yeah, before we begin with everything, I just want to ask quickly, how are we doing, boys? Another productive week. It was not for me, as I'm on vacation currently in California, and I did nothing this week at all besides hang out with family. And I had a fantasy football draft that was fun. I'll have to show you guys the roster, so maybe after the recording or something. But yeah,
Have you pretty
how are
much
we
just
doing?
been at home the whole time for the most part?
Uh,
Have you gone to
just
Fresno much or?
I've been in DP only, visiting a lot of friends and families. Um, just hanging around with people around here. My
Cool.
best friend had a baby, so I spent a couple days over there with him, just with him and his kid, just
Wow.
um, meeting the child and everything. So you know, how y'all doing though? Like
Well,
how's everything?
you guys know where I work, and we just got through back to school, so I somehow survived again.
Yeah, this guy was dying yesterday.
Dude, there were too many people, too many children screaming, get PTSD. But we got through it, and the Dodgers
That's all that
won
matters.
on this weekend, so great.
Yeah, and lost to the Rockies today. How do we go into Coors and lose? Come on, bro. Jeez. It
I, jet lag.
Jet lag, exactly. That's what you got to keep telling yourself, man.
was a close one, you know.
Yep.
But
And also, I got the Demon Slayer hat, ladies and gentlemen. My own
it's
signature
pretty
hat, so
dope.
you can tell it's me. The anime and the Dodgers. All right, Tyler, your turn. How was your week?
Pretty productive, doing a lot of things to work towards this new job that I have got going here soon. So yeah, just making calls and attending different meetings and stuff like that. And yep, it's all going well. Been good so far. I have my sister's wedding coming up this week, so I'm flying down to HB tomorrow. Um, and that's on Friday. But I have a lot of stuff to do, so I'm going there like super early. Part of the wedding party, I have other stuff to do. Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, should be
It'll be
fun though,
fun
right?
though. Yeah, it should be
Yeah,
real fun.
nice. All right, boys. Let's just jump right into it then. Unless there's any, I'm trying to think if there's been any real news to drop, other than the Commanders are shopping
I
Brian
saw that.
Robinson,
I saw that.
which kind of surprised me.
That's surprising. Wow.
Really going with Eckler as the
Maybe
main
Debo,
back.
maybe Debo, maybe I was gonna say maybe Debo's just gonna play full time running back or something. I don't know.
He's kind of big now. I mean,
He's looking a little like me, man. He's a little stout lately.
Power
oh
back
my
Ryan
gosh.
Jones.
Power back. Tell
Um,
me,
the
tell me.
Bengals are now also listening on offers for Henderson, but
Oh,
my take on that is their return's not going to be what they fully desire because they waited this long to do it. Because if they
yeah,
did it before the draft, they would have gotten a lot more. But
They could have
he
got
would
some
have
good
got
draft
a.
picks.
Yeah, what you're gonna get's not really gonna help you this year unless you get. I mean, I guess you can get players in return, but like around like that just kind of doesn't happen around this time of
Not
year.
like his level though. At this
No,
time, no
you're
way.
100% no. So I don't know, man. It's just
They're
kind of
done, bro. They need to pay him.
yeah.
Seriously. I
because he
mean,
ain't
I
gonna
heard
play.
Jamar Chase talk about it after their preseason game tonight.
How many
and
points
he's
they
just
give up?
like, everyone stay positive. How many points did they?
I think
I
it's
don't
kind of
know.
hard to stay
Let's see.
positive when what Mike Brown, is that the owner's name, is your owner?
Wow, they won
Yeah.
31-17.
Shocking. Who they play?
Jake Browning's nice, bro. Dang.
Jake Browning.
To be fair, it's preseason though.
Yeah, I'm
They played the Commanders, the
Okay.
two people we're talking about right now. Two teams.
What's funny, we're starting with the Niners, is that my buddy at work who does, drive up, which is the, curbside whatnot, he was kind of freaking out over the preseason game, and I'm like, dude, why are you freaking out over this? He goes, because we've been that starved for football, and I'm like, okay, but
Doesn't matter what.
It's preseason, bro. Still, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
like, dude,
gosh.
you are
the
setting
only-
yourself up for a
That's funny
disappointing
Jared's
season.
saying that too, because Jared cares a lot about
Well,
preseason and
no,
spring training.
what I care about in spring training preseason is the young guys who we have. How good are they going to do with these reps? That's what I'm wanting to
Yeah.
see. And if they're not doing good, then I'm getting a little antsy, uh-oh. And so far, they have been good. During the Rams game, our two receivers that we drafted, Trey Harris and Lambert Smith,
Bro, Lambert Smith has been good. Yeah.
Yeah, he is an insane route runner. QJ, though, has a concussion.
QJ's still doing QJ things, bro. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's still not looking like
he took a
good.
He took a hard hit after bobbling a ball. He's concussed, wishing a speedy recovery. But hey, we move on. We got another preseason game. I think Trey Lance has fully earned the backup QB spot. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
He has played a pretty solid summer. But yeah.
All right. Well,
on to the Niners.
Yeah. Without further ado, Jared, will you please explain? The Niners handicap.
What does that say? Oh,
pretty
October, September, October.
So we have to kind of zoom in to fully read it, but it's this is where we are right now. We're in the February to August thing. I just grabbed it off Google Images because, I'm just using the same meme from last year on the one to the left because it's still valid.
Yeah.
That meme has no expiration. So, yes, they're all hurt. Receivers, offensive line, defense, you name it, they're hurt. But got Robert Saleh's back.
They were dropping like flies, man.
Mm-hmm.
They were
dropping like flies, just like how Debo was dropping balls, dropped right into his hand. Just give me the ball, guys. Just give me the ball. Bloop.
Yeah. I see the Kyle needs to go. We'll get to Kyle Shanahan in a second, and I want to touch on the weird dialogue from Niner fans regarding Kyle Shanahan. I just think
if you want
the constant insanity that we get every year of, oh man, it's Kyle Shanahan's fault we're not good, stuff like that is just insane to me from Niner fans. And
dude, I can probably name
the excuse always is to me is
half the league would trade for Kyle Shanahan to be their coach.
And bro, you know how many times he's led them in the postseason and far to the Super Bowl? He's a good coach.
All right,
he's a great coach.
He's a great coach. Yeah.
What I can do though is I can I have the I have pulled up on my phone so I can zoom in and read it. So the little chart. So February and August, which is where we are right now, complain all offseason about said NFC Championship game / Super Bowl loss, or in this case, season from hell and injuries. Star player demands a new contract and requests a trade while posting cryptic social media posts. Well, that was last year with Ayuk, so. September, start the season out slow. Players get injured. Lose against the worst teams in the league. October, that's it. Kyle needs to go. November, December, win a bunch of games down the stretch. Clinch a playoff spot. January, win the wild card and divisional. This is the year we finally get it done. Quest for 6. lose the NFC Championship game / Super Bowl in heartbreaking fashion, and then back to February, August.
Yeah.
Instead,
Damn.
they didn't get there last season, so. But that's how it's normally gone under Shanahan, so.
Yeah, and maybe that'll happen this year, but when we do get to the roster and everything, I don't know about you guys, but I'm questioning.
There's some question marks. Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, last year the Niners did not have the best year. A lot of injuries. They were 6-11. Really, like defensively, they kind of fall apart down the stretch. I thought the offense was sufficient enough. You know, it wasn't the highly explosive offense that we've known, but
Didn't
with
have
Christian,
CMC.
yeah, with Christian McCaffrey getting hurt, obviously, you're just not going to be good. You can make an argument when he's healthy, he's like the best non-quarterback like weapon in football. You know, like there's an argument for that.
Yeah.
So because of what he can do out of the passing game as well as the run game. And obviously, you're getting fourth place in the division with the losses defensively you had and Christian McCaffrey being gone, all the injuries in the wide receiving core, um, inconsistent injury-riddled season from George Kittle, who kind of always seems to be hurt, right? And, I mean, we'll get to Brock Purdy, but he has uh, he's a top 50 he's a top half of the league quarterback. That's what I'll say. 15 to 16-ish range. That is what I will say about him.
And here come the Niner
Couple weeks
fans
will
in
be
the
the court.
comments. Here come the Niner fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can't wait. 4-5 at home, 2-6 on the road, and obviously the playoffs last year for the first time in a while. You can see the ranks on the screen here. Passing the ball, Purdy was good last season. He was 9th in the NFL. Him and Kyle Shanahan still can dial it up offensively. Running the football, even without CMC, we know that this is probably like the best run scheme in the NFL. We hear all the time about the Shanahan system and everybody trying to kind of replicate what he does. They were 14th in points scored, which is probably a tick down from a couple years ago, right? This was one of the best offenses in the league. And, you know, last year, kind of a season from hell. It just did not work out. Defensively, though, this is why they bring back Robert Saleh. 14th against the pass is fine, but against the run, they got ate up, 29th in the league, and they just could not stop teams from getting into the end zone, 29th in the league. So, not good defensively, okay offensively. We know the coaching staff, though, for the most part. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have been here forever, and you can make an argument, GM head coach combo, you can make the argument, you know, they might be the best in the sport, right? We know John Lynch is great. We know Kyle Shanahan, if he were fired like some Niner fans were to have it, he would have a job in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan, like, because of, like, I'll use my team as an example. Because of Sean Payton's age and, like, the longevity of this all, I would get rid of Sean Payton for Kyle Shanahan in an instant just because Sean's getting up there in age and everything. But, you know, that's not to say Sean's not a great coach. But you get what I'm saying. Like, outside of, same with, I mean, I know you love Jim Harbaugh, but same with Jim. You know, he's older, so there's going to be an expiration on that. Shanahan's a younger coach. And outside of a Sean McVay, is there a better play caller in the National Football League? I don't think so. So, new offensive coordinator, though, Clay Kubiak. The Kubiak family, dude, they just produce the hell out of coaches, man. There's so many Kubiaks in the NFL. Shout out former Broncos coach Gary Kubiak, who, if I'm not mistaken, was the head coach of that Super Bowl team where they won in 2016, right? So,
Hey, man. Yeah.
yeah, he was the offensive guy for Peyton, along with Adam Gase. Shout out to him. That didn't really go anywhere. But Clay Kubiak was the passing game coordinator last year for the Niners. He's elevated to the OC, but we know that Shanahan's the guy that's calling the game. Robert Saleh is in his 5th season as the Niners defensive coordinator. Obviously, his most recent job was the head coach of the Jets, so he's back here, and this will be his 5th season with the team. So it's kind of a weird situation, you know. I haven't had to type that in where it's like, oh, here, he's back with the team kind of thing. Thought it was interesting. And then bringing over, he brought Saleh brought over Brant Boyer, who was the Jets special team coordinator. He comes with Saleh over, and he is the new special teams coordinator for the Niners, a team who, from all the Niner fans I know, always complain about special teams and that they just have not been good enough. So maybe
Especially
he could bring
Moody.
something new.
They especially
Yeah,
hate Jake Moody.
yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I'll get into it right now. I'm pretty sure they did kicker, but I do think Moody's still going to be a starter. So I don't really know what the plan is there.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, a lot of free agent losses here, boys, and you could see I did something a little different. This is kind of newer where I'm making the docs and everything, but just to kind of give the audience a bigger idea of who the huge losses highlight.
I
So
like
the
it.
biggest losses are highlighted in red, and we'll spend the majority of the time talking about these guys. But as you can see, just a
Dude, they
lot of
lost
trouble.
so many freaking people.
This is what happens when you pay the quarterback, and there's a lot of guys you just have to pay. So Jordan Mason got traded to Minnesota. He is, in contention to take Aaron Jones' job there. He's a really good running back, but when you have Christian McCaffrey, I just don't think that it's, he's not, if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, no one else is touching the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same with like Elijah Mitchell there, who has been solid in the past. Deebo Samuel goes to Washington. Just kind of there, being his Oompa Loompa self. I don't really know. Aaron Banks is he went to Green Bay, got a big money. The offensive line's in fluctuation. Obviously, I'll talk about the two Denver guys, but Javon
Good get for you
Hargrave.
guys.
Yeah, Javon Hargrave goes with Jordan Mason to Minnesota. Charvarius Ward, who was instrumental to those Chiefs teams and the Niner teams, and always playing deep into the postseason, he goes to Indianapolis to kind of shore up that secondary with the Colts. And then for Denver, kind of two of the biggest moves of the offseason, at least in my circles, was Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa
Talanoa.
Hufanga. Yeah,
You got it.
Hufanga going to Denver. And as soon as, they've looked good and they're healthy right now. And, so I'm going to operate under that influence. Same thing I'm going to do with Stafford, right? So those are all the main big losses. And then just a lot of depth lost, as you could see on the screen, boys. They lost a lot here.
Both their quarterbacks that they had.
Yeah, so.
Dang. Running backs. Jordan Mason played a good amount last year.
Yeah, he's solid, dude. He's solid. They lost a lot, man. But obviously, when you lose a lot, you have a lot of roster spots. So here are all the additions. A lot of cheap one-year deals. But the main guys I wanted to talk about was Demarcus Robinson, Ram. I thought it was relevant. Yeah, I thought it was relevant. I know he's getting up there in age. I think he's like 31 now, but he's been along the NFL long enough, and with all the injuries to the receiving core, Demarcus Robinson might actually have a big role.
What's crazy is he was a quarterback in college, bro.
Going
that's what's wild.
The opposite of Ryan Tannehill route, because Tannehill was a receiver that converted to quarterback. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Luke Farrell getting a 3-year deal coming over from Jacksonville. Good insurance there in case you get another year out of George Kittle where he's just hurt, So a lot of, he'll be the second tight end on the depth chart, I would imagine, look at it. And
they brought back Ross too.
Yeah. So Ross Dwelly comes over from Atlanta. And then the other one, Bryce Huff, in a trade, I believe. That should say Philadelphia, not San Francisco. Fix that. There you go. But yeah, Bryce Huff comes over in a trade from Philadelphia. And obviously that's the big money deal. They lost a lot along that defense line. And, he's kind of next to Nick Bosa. It should be a good defensive line pairing. And I didn't highlight it, but at the bottom you could see they did sign Greg Joseph over from the Jets and Thomas Morstead from the Jets. So
wow, both of their kickers.
Yeah, so Moody, I would imagine, is going to be on a very short leash this season because they did bring over the special teams coordinator from the Jets, and he brought his guys. So I just think Jake Moody is going to be on a very short lease, and I know that the guys in my fantasy league did draft Jake Moody. We had a lot of Niner fans in the draft, so not the move I would have made, boys, but nonetheless, Greg Joseph is right there if you want to pick him up too.
I have to ask, who was the first kicker
Good
drafted?
backup.
Who was the first kicker drafted in your fantasy draft?
So, quick tangent. I had the number 1 pick.
Okay.
Oh.
Who did I draft?
You
Did
drafted
you drafted
Bijan.
You probably drafted a running
You drafted
back,
Bijan.
I drafted my guy. You know why? Because in this league, if you're nothing but loyal, you're not winning a championship.
You drafted
And
Bo
I am
Nix?
loyal. No, I did not draft Bo Nix.
Oh, fine.
You know what's crazy? You know what? We'll talk about it now. I made a deal with the devil, boys.
What'd you do?
I drafted Josh Allen.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You can't root against his downfall now. You can't. Not this season.
I had him on my team like every year. You did that too.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I drafted Josh Allen at the.
My team name was just Josh and
Since I had the turn there, I went Bijan, and then on the way back, I got JSN from Seattle as my wide receiver 1, and then Josh Allen. So
wow.
Yeah, the receiving core, I'm a little worried about it because I have Jamison Williams from Detroit, and then Tedero McMillan is taking a shot with a rookie there. So yeah,
that's gonna be interesting.
I'll show you guys the whole lineup after the podcast. But yes, I made a deal with the devil. Josh Allen is now my quarterback, apparently. So
that's crazy.
Yikes! I know, right? All right, let's get into the draft class. Let's get into the draft class real quick. Let's see what video blesses our podcast today before we're talking. Oh, we just got Bears and Bills preseason highlights. Is my quarterback going to be Josh Allen? Who knows? All right. Caleb did look good in his preseason debut, by the way. Just want to mention it. All right, so defensively. So here's kind of the last 2 drafts for the Niners. Obviously, last year, trying to get Ricky Pearsall here. He obviously, got shot and kind of had a slow start to his season. So hopefully, I know he's kind of but you're hoping for kind of a big year 2 jump from him. If you're a Niner fan, this year, Michael Williams, defensive lineman, Georgia. I would imagine he's playing edge rusher, opposite side of Nick Bosa. And you can tell that they lost a lot defensively because with their first 5 picks, they're taking defensive players. So they got Alfred Collins, defensive tackle out of Texas. I don't know if he'll start right away, but he's a good player. Nick Martin, the linebacker, ideally, it probably won't be this year, but in a couple years, he takes on the Dre Greenlaw role. We'll see if he can be that guy. That's going to be very hard. Obviously, the secondary was not good at all. So up Stout, Western Kentucky, CJ West, another defensive tackle from Indiana. Like they did a lot, dude, in the draft.
A lot of D-line.
And I will say this: I do trust.
Jordan Watkins is a pretty good. Yeah. He was pretty good wide receiver too in college.
I do trust, John Lynch to hit on his draft picks, but it's all about really just giving them time to develop. And I don't know if that's time that the Niners really have with what they want to do this year. They want to compete immediately. So offensively, here's the starting lineup, boys. Obviously, for those of you watching, gold is a new player that they got in free agency or trade. Purple, if your player's highlighted in purple, they're a rookie. And aqua is a 2025 UD undrafted free agent that has been signed to the roster. And then red is some guy that's hurt, as you can see. We'll start with Brandon Ayuk.
And Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, we'll start with Brandon Ayuk, who is obviously hurt. Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings are the other 2 receiver. Jawan Jennings obviously looking for a new contract. Really no clue with that situation, but I expect DeMarcus Robinson to step up into that Brandon Ayuk role to start the year at least. So you're probably not, losing all. I mean, I don't want to say that much. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk is really good, but we know DeMarcus Robinson stuff and solid player.
He had some good games last year for us.
Yeah, 100%. Trent Williams is the best left tackle in football. Still to this day, obviously, he's got to stay healthy because he's old as hell. So that's kind of, the only thing for him. The rest of the offensive line is kind of a big question mark, but I think in the scheme that they're in, these guys will develop into good players just because of Shanahan. Tight end, obviously George Kittle. They brought in Luke Farrell for their 2 tight end sets. Brock Purdy, who is now being backed up by Mac Jones, who kind of interesting there that the Niners were kind of rumored to take him in that one draft, right? And then instead they picked Trey Lance, but now Mac Jones, kind of full circle moment, is here to back up Brock Purdy. And if anything does happen to Brock Purdy, maybe you can see a Mac Jones resurgence, similar to like a Sam Darnold, right? Christian McCaffrey is the only healthy running back. See, the rest of them are highlighted in red. So, I mean, Jeff Wilson's back, though. That's cool. Kyle Juszczyk is one of the last fullbacks in the NFL, and he's really good at his job. So,
Dude, they have no depth behind McCaffrey.
No. And let's just be perfectly honest here. If McCaffrey gets hurt, their season goes to hell. So, Defensively, a lot of new pieces in here, especially in the second level here for all these backups. Nick Bosa, the racist, is still here. Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle, next to Kevin Givens. On the other edge is Michael Williams. The linebacking core, Fred Warner, still here, so you know it's going to be a solid group. But no Dre Greenlaw. Instead, we got D. Winters and Ronaldo Green in the secondary. Actually, in the secondary is Ronaldo Green, Jair Brown, Jason Pinnock, Lenore here.
Lenore.
Yes, sir. And then Upton Stout is a rookie expected to play the nickel role. So got a couple of new faces on the defense. A lot of backups here that are, either rookies or asked to be traded. Bryce Huff currently listed as a backup, but I would imagine he, in the NFL now you have to have enough guys that rotate in and out. So he's going to get a lot of playing time here. And then just a lot of rookies, man, on that second level and a lot of new faces that you hope,
and pan out. Yeah.
Right now, Thomas Morstead is the punter. Jake Moody's the kicker. I would imagine Greg Joseph is probably just on the practice squad right now. So, if Moody has another crap year, I expect Greg Joseph to be here. So, all right. So this is the easiest schedule according to last year's in the NFL. So if you're a Niner fan, you could be really, really, you'll be happy about that, right? Obviously, you got to get the defense back to playing where it has been under Robert Saleh in the past. And with all those new pieces, you're hoping that they made the correct. But that is yet to be seen. You start off with Seattle. Then you got the Saints and the Cardinals. Now, usually I'd say those are layup games, but I do like what Seattle and Arizona did this offseason. So I don't really, we'll get to predictions and all that in a little bit. But division games are always tough, right? But then you got Jacksonville. You go to the Rams for another divisional matchup. Tampa Bay is going to be a tough game. Atlanta, who knows? Houston has a really good defense, so if that offensive line's not, doing what they're supposed to do, Brock Purdy could have a tough day. The Giants as well have a good defensive line. Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, Titans, Colts. This stretch is where you need to rack up a lot of wins here. And then ending your season with Chicago and Seattle. Boys, wouldn't you like your team to have this type of schedule?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a light schedule.
It's a very light schedule.
Just looking at I think the Rams, if Stafford's healthy, is your toughest game all season. Just straight up, and then going to Tampa Bay,
yeah, that one.
Maybe Chicago towards the end of the year. Who knows what they're going to be like. But yeah. Here are the odds, boys. They currently are sitting at 10.5. They are favored to win the division as of today, plus 160. To win the NFC, to go to the Super Bowl, they are third, just behind Philadelphia and Detroit. And they
Wow.
are tied for eighth for the Super Bowl. So
That's
uh,
shocking, bro.
it is, after finishing last in the division, it is very shocking to me that they are sitting at the win total they're at, and just everything. It's obviously a very easy schedule.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is a really easy schedule. Jeez.
So it's like,
It's not. Yeah, that kind of makes sense then. More. Um, is it
I don't know,
literally
man.
the first easy, like the first schedule?
Yes, it is the first schedule. Let
Wow,
me see
that's
right here.
most easiest. That's crazy.
Dude, this line's very good because I feel like 10-7 is like a good year for them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with these guys is the health, and also I really like what the other teams in the division did. So I don't know, man. Saying that these guys would like finish last in the division is kind of crazy to me. I'm gonna take, dude.
This is tough.
I'll no. I'll
I
go
think
the
I'm gonna
under,
do the under. Yeah.
but I'm gonna take the Niners going like 10-7. And
Yeah,
obviously
we can do that. Like we
this
could
is
put
in
under 10
pencil.
7.
We can erase this later once we do our full season predictions, but I do got to go back and look, at the roster totality. And then when you go through the other teams in this division, as we will very soon, you'll see that this is one of the better divisions in the NFL for a reason. So, Jared,
For me, I just feel like yeah, injuries would play a part, but like they are going to play a part. I'll take the over, but like at 11-6. I just feel like most of those losses are gonna be division losses. That's what I'll say. Um,
yeah,
but I just
Yeah,
think
that's true with that schedule.
fine. You
I think
convinced me.
11-6 is
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of thinking, man.
Man.
Hmm. No, screw him. I'm staying with it. Whatever.
okay.
All right. Let's
I
get
don't
into
like
my
him.
favorite team in this division, the Arizona Cardinals. Jared, do you care to explain just why I'm Donald Duck right now? What is happening here?
All right. So for
You licking the
disclaimers,
ground that they.
I cue flashback.
I
D
love
tackled.
Walter Nolan.
Yeah, you,
I love Walter Nolan.
yeah, you love Membu and you love Nolan. Those are the two you
Dude,
had man crushes on.
I just love big men.
So during the draft, Ryan talked about how much he loved big men, and when Walter Nolan got drafted,
Yes.
he said, "I love this pick. I love this pick for the Cardinals. I love Walter Nolan. I love big, gigantic
Dude.
men." And that's Walter
Yes.
Nolan in a Cardinals
It's my
jersey.
philosophy on how to build a football team, man.
That
You
makes
just gotta
sense. I
have
mean,
big.
you
You
gotta
gotta
have
have
big
big dudes.
So
corn-fed
when
farm boys
when
that are.
Ryan
Yeah.
saw him
Massive
drafted, he
men.
went, "The thirst."
Dude,
The first.
I'm telling you what, right
Licking the
now,
ground, bro.
I was a big fan of Arizona's offseason, and I think that going into this NFL season, they could be, I don't want to say somewhat of a sleeping giant because like I don't think Arizona's winning the Super Bowl like that, but I feel like the disrespect and like the level of switching up and like forgetfulness on Kyler Murray is insane. Like I just think that we've gotten to a point with Kyler. I think he's very underrated at this point, and despite this team's defensive woes, doing what they did defensively in the offseason, I think this is going to be a much improved defense with their head coach, who's a defensive guy. And I just think that with the offense, a year jump year 2 jump from Marvin Harrison, and Trey McBride's one of the best tight ends in the NFL. I just think that they could really shock some teams. And it's not like we remember that Cardinals season like so bad last year. They went 8-9. They were only one game. You know
Yeah,
what I
seeing
mean?
that,
So
I'm kind of shocked. I didn't realize
like
like they
I
actually
feel like there
did
was a
that.
time when we were doing the power rankings where I had the Cardinals in the postseason. When I did the Co-Jones, what did we freaking call it?
Co-Jones conference
Um,
Joe
control.
Jones conference
yeah,
control.
and I had Arizona as like a top 7 team because they were like 6-3 at one point in the season, and they were just finding ways to win games. And I've always been a Kyler Murray believer. So let's get into the team though. They were 8-9 last year, kind of fell apart down the stretch. Defensively, they weren't very good, but offensively, they were solid. They got third in this division. They missed the playoffs, but at home they were 6-3, pretty good. On the road is where they struggled, 2-6. And you can see the rankings here, boys. Like I said, offensively pretty good. 13th passing with Kyler Murray. The combination of James Conner and Kyler Murray running the football was good enough for 5th in the NFL, and then 12th in total points. Defensively, though, is kind of where they struggled. They were 24th against the pass, 28th against the run, but when they got near the end zone, um, they were a good red zone defense. They really tightened the screws, which is why you see kind of the jump there to 15th in points allowed, which is kind of middle of the pack, right? So I think that maybe you can improve on that defensive side of the ball, and we'll talk about all the additions. I just really liked what they did this offseason. So, and we'll get into it now. So Monty Austin Fort is in his 3rd season. He is tied to Jonathan Gannon, who's in his 3rd season. Drew Petzing is in his 3rd season as OC, and then Nick Rallis is in his 3rd. So coordinator Jeff Rogers has been here forever. I don't know what it is with teams and just never firing special team coordinator, but it might be the most secure job in all of America season here. So if you can work your way up to being a special teams coordinator, boys, you got a job for life. One of the main reasons I really like the Arizona Cardinals is because I don't think they lost all that much this offseason. Like the biggest loss to me was Matt Prater.
Not
And
the
the only
GOAT.
reason I highlighted him was to shout out the Denver Broncos. Like I'm gonna be real. So no, I'm kidding. No, he's a really all-time, distance kicker, right? Good hitting the deep ball. So, but other than that, man, I look at this team and I just don't think they lost that much. Like Julian Okwara is a name, but like his production doesn't really match who he used to be. But they did get a lot defensively, man. Josh Sweat signing a big deal coming over from Philadelphia. Calais Campbell, I don't even have highlighted because he hasn't had a real like Calais Campbell-esque season in a long time. But
Dang, he's coming back though.
yeah, veteran season, coming back to a place that he was in the past. Coming back from Miami, who just doesn't have a winning culture whatsoever. Maybe that kind of reinvents him. But I do like the Dalvin Tomlin deal coming over from Cleveland, getting help along the interior, and then Akeem Davis-Gaither, also in the linebacking coming over from Cincinnati. One of the few bright spots on that defense they let walk out the door.
Again.
Shocker,
Again.
right?
Yeah.
Shocker. Yeah, I just really like what this team did what this team did
Some
in
great
the
ads.
And it even gets better with arguably my favorite player in the entire draft.
Chef's kiss, Walter Nolan.
At 16th. Well,
Walter Nolan at 16, and then getting Will Johnson, a guy who we mocked constantly in the first round. He, because of some injury concerns, he's healthy right now, boys. Out of Michigan, one of the last guys that were one of Jim Harbaugh's dudes. He goes in the 2nd round here, and he could end up being one of the biggest steals of this draft. The talent is off the rails, but obviously with Will Johnson. So Last year, Marvin Harrison Jr. Kind of underwhelmed in his rookie campaign. Him and Kyler just couldn't get on the right page, but there is a lot of hype for him going into year 2. I know you guys have seen after pictures of just how yoked he's got. So, should help him get off the line quicker, be able to create separation. He's not obviously the fastest wide receiver, but that doesn't always matter. Neither is right? So, but he's still dominant. And then Darius Robinson, out of Missouri, you're hoping he could take a year. He didn't do anything last year. So yeah, I mean, just a lot, man. They've done a lot the last couple of years that I really like.
2 other guys from the Ohio State defense that was really good last year too.
Exactly. Yep. Here's the lineup. The entire offensive starting unit's coming back for the most part, I think, and that's kind of where you're like, okay, you get some continuation coordinator in year 2 and 3, and hopefully this is like your biggest jump for your offense. So Marvin Harrison, obviously, is going to be the here. Michael Wilson also on the outside. Greg Dortch in the slot, who's always been pretty solid. Zay Jones is here still, who's also, just a solid player. On the offensive line, Paris Johnson, Evan Brown, a couple guys in there, Isaiah Adams from Cincinnati. You're hoping that they can hold up and Kyler does enough to where, like, he can kind of, the thing with him has always been, like, he can see over the offensive line. So he's struggled throwing the ball over the middle, right? So that's kind of just, kind of his thing. But the Bengals have made, like, a conscious effort to kind of draft shorter linemen and, like, try to get, like, smaller linemen for him that can also, like, run block and everything. So Trey McBride's still here, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Kyler, at this point, I think is very underrated. And then James Conner, I think, is also very underrated for running back.
He had a great season last year.
I think he's a great running back. So Trey Benson as well is a solid backup. So defensively, obviously you could see right there in the starting lineup, there's been a lot of turnover here, but I think it's for the better. And I'm hoping that this could finally be the best Arizona defense that we've seen under Jonathan Gannon. So Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, next to him is Darius Butler. And then rushing the passers, Baron Browning from Denver coming over here. On the opposite side of him is Josh Sweat. And then in the middle, we talked about Akeem Davis-Gaither. Next to him is Mac Wilson. So, and then rookies Cody Simon could also see some playing time here. The secondary is kind of where you get, if Will Johnson hits, I think it's going to be a great secondary. So Will Johnson, Jalen Thompson, we know Budda Baker's pretty good. Max Melton, and then Garrett Williams in the nickel spot. I am just hoping that this defense can kind of come together and be better than what they've been under Jonathan Gannon. I really like the addition that they made. The problem is, getting them to gel and figuring that out.
Take the bus.
It's not the.
Just take the bus.
Who did they replace Matt Prater with? NC.
Let me see.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Kind of a big
Chad
loss.
Riley.
Oh, okay.
Chad Riley from San Francisco. So
Yeah.
that was his last stop in San Francisco. So
they can all gel together by
the schedule is 11.
Just my
It's
thought.
pretty good.
Exactly.
Take the bus to work.
Exactly. The 11th schedule, which, again, this is based on last season's wins, but you can make your predictions here. They do play the NFC South, so having New Orleans and Carolina on the schedule can really help you get out to a 2-0 start potentially, right? But then, a couple back-to-back division games, San Francisco, Seattle. Then Tennessee should be a win. Indianapolis should be a win, right? And then Green Bay going into your bye week. Coming out of your bye week, a team who you seasons, in the Dallas Cowboys. Do you remember when James Conner ran for like 400 freaking yards on them? That was a fun day. Then again, I don't know why their schedule is like this, but twice they have Seattle and San Francisco back to back. Kind of strange there.
That's weird.
Then Jacksonville. Tampa Bay is, I think, one of the better teams in the NFC. Tampa Bay and LA back to back. If you're going to make the playoffs, you got to win some of these games. Along with Houston down there at the end of the schedule, that's a really tough stretch there. Atlanta, who could be solid, and then ending your season with two potential playoff teams in Cincinnati and the Rams. So
Back end of the schedule's tough.
the back end of the schedule is tough, but I do think there's a good opportunity to kind of build some wins here before their bye week.
Yep.
But if that is the case and they kind of falter down the stretch, I feel like that's kind of the same story that we've just have always kind of had with the Arizona Cardinals, right? They always get off to hot starts. Kyler starts winning, and we're like, is this Kyler's year? Finally, and they kind of just like fall apart down the stretch. So that schedule kind of makes me feel like, man, here we go again. They are currently at 8.5 wins, which is third in the division, tied for 10th in the NFC, and for the Super Bowl, they are tied for 18th. Boys, I fear that if we predict the under and we are correct, this could be Kyler Murray's final year.
Damn.
Could be.
Is he just an unserious quarterback? Or are we going to see finally what we've all been waiting for with the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, guys,
What do we feel?
I'm gonna put it to the analogy of Call of Duty. We've been, waiting for, is this the Call of Duty that brings the community back together to where Call of Duty gets back to the good old days? But no, Activision can't keep getting in their own way, just like how Kyler Murray sometimes can't get out of his own head. Mental games, ladies and gentlemen. I look at that back end of the schedule, and then just the back-to-backs of Seattle and San Francisco, man. God, man. And I don't know, if that defense doesn't gel, they're in trouble. They'll be in contention for a top 5 pick, maybe. I don't think they will. I think they're a little bit better of a team to be picking in the top 10 next year. I don't want to say over for everybody in this division. Because somebody's got to lose some games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they go 9-8, so over.
Okay.
I could see that. Yeah, I was kind of thinking over. I don't know though. That back end of the schedule is where they could win or lose 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, you'll have Cincinnati in desperation mode as usual, trying to get in.
That's true. Yeah. Man.
Damn, I don't know.
You know what?
This division is tough. You're right.
I'm gonna take the over for now.
I think so too, but it's only at 9.
I have a very bad feeling that I'm gonna pick over for every team in this division, and that just can't happen. It's just not gonna happen because I already know whatever the Rams thing is. I'm taking the because I love Stafford, and then Seattle, I don't know, man. They've looked good in the preseason, but I will get to them right now. Of course, it has to be something Mariners related. Jared, what do we got?
My M's deserve to be on this one because of how well they're playing, despite getting getting their backs absolutely blown out by Philadelphia today.
Bro,
Ryan,
Gilbert got stomped.
Yeah. I want to thank Ryan for finding this meme for me because I literally did not know what to put for the Seahawks this year. But yes, the Mariners wasn't expected to compete. Competes anyway. Was expected to compete for Seattle and doesn't. Let's remember this team started 3-0 last year. And
Yeah,
then they went
they're on
7-7 the rest of the way.
Yeah, they just missed out on the playoffs, man, after going 10-7.
And then they trade DK.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then there was a complete roster overhaul, which kind of makes you think, is this going to be kind of like a reset year for Seattle? Then, you guys know I'm going through all this stuff, and I look at this team's roster, and I'm like, man, this is a really good team, It's really hard to find the bad team in this division. I feel like it's all just going to come down to health of the Niners and Stafford's back,
Yep.
Like if
Yep.
if Niners are healthy again and if Stafford's back works, and he's always playing hurt, but if he's just Stafford, they're going to be good teams. So it's really hard to, figure this team out. But the other reason I'm kind of like, man, could this be Seattle's division to win? Look at that home record.
Dang, they sucked at home.
Usually,
What
for
the hell?
Usually
Seattle,
they're
the
good at
12,
home.
the 12 is like one of the best home field advantages in the NFL.
Yep.
But last year they just weren't good. But on the road, they were road warriors. Gino was balling. They're 7-1.
7-1.
Their one loss was to the Lions. I remember
Wow.
that game.
Expected, right? You expect to lose to the Lions. So
Yeah.
like in my head, I'm kind of just like, if they just 500 at home, if they're 5-4 or something like that, this is a playoff team. I don't know. You see these ranks here, and maybe
Yeesh.
this is part of the reason they moved on from Gino. They were 20th in passing offense. When Kenneth Walker gets hurt like he does every year, they're 19th in running the football. 18th in points scored. So pretty mid offensively. Not the best. Defensively, though, Mike McDonald is, comes over from Baltimore, and it's a really, really good scheme. They're 9th against the pass, 16th against the run. They're pretty mid. And then 12th in points allowed. Because the offense was pretty bad, we got a new offensive coordinator. And remember what I said about Kubiak?
Look, another Kubiak. Yeah.
Remember what I said about Kubiaks? There's just a lot of them everywhere. Shout out to the Kubiak family and just reproducing like Philip Rivers. I guess I don't really know.
Okay. Don't be taking shots at my QB, my old QB.
I'm
dude.
not taking shots.
Everyone knows that's a thing. Like
admiration for his beautiful family. He has an entire
his
starting
football team. Yeah.
It's crazy. Eventually you're gonna see the NFL and where to be. Yeah, they picked up this guy Rivers and that Rivers.
Jay Rivers and,
There's gonna be so many
Evan
Rivers in
and
the NFL.
Colin Rivers.
It's gonna be
and,
great.
yeah.
It's gonna be great.
What are their names? We haven't even. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Jared, do you know their names?
One of them's a quarterback in high school right now, and he's really good. So
Wow, there we go.
boy.
He's gonna be the first one.
yeah. The GM is John Schneider. He's been here forever. Obviously, GM under Super Bowl. Pete Carroll. There were years where, kind of the word around was that he kind of lost control. Pete Carroll, and that's when the Seahawks started losing. And then he gains control, and their roster kind of, under Mike McDonald kind of turns the page, and they're like good again. So we'll see if that holds to be true. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for Pete Carroll and what he's done as a coach. But Mike McDonald's in his second year now, after starting 10-7 as a rookie head coach. That's really good, and that's another reason why you could see a year or two jump from this team. This is second year in the system. Clint Kubiak is the new OC. Remember that first, again, we talked about it before, but when New Orleans had that 3-game stretch where they're historically the greatest offense of the time, and then we were still kind of I don't believe in Seattle, or in New Orleans, excuse me, and then everybody got hurt and they kind of fell apart. I don't know. And we were talking about Clint Kubiak.
That was him.
We were talking about him as the next great head coach. He has another chance to prove it with a better organization. So we'll see what that turns out. But I do like what I'm seeing in the preseason from this offense. So Aiden Durd is the second-year defensive coordinator, but let's be real, Mike McDonald's probably calling the game. And then Jay Harbaugh We got a Harbaugh on the roster too.
Oh, whoa.
I have no idea if this guy is related to the other ones, but we have a Jay Harbaugh in his second season as special teams coordinator. Could he? I know that John Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator.
All right.
So
Yes, Jay is related.
Yeah,
he is
he's
the son
his
of
son
Jim.
of Jim.
he's
Yep.
Jim's son. Okay. All right. So maybe a future head coach in the Mist. These guys could have the best special teams unit in the NFL. Crazy. All right. So the main losses for this team, as we know, are those top three guys. But I also did want to highlight Roy Roberts going to the Giants to join that defensive line. Pretty crazy. But Geno is now the starting quarterback in Vegas. Tyler Lockett goes to Tennessee, where all receivers go to die. Obviously, I don't think that Lockett's going to be a huge loss for these guys because I think he's washed at this point in his career. But he's been a captain there for a long time, right? He's been kind of like he was like the last guy from those Super Bowl teams that have been here, right? So shout out to Tyler Lockett. I'm sure he'll get his jersey retired at some point in Seattle. DK Metcalf goes to Pittsburgh and he gets a big payday, or is traded to Pittsburgh and gets a huge payday. So, yeah. And then in free agency, Sam Darnold is the new man here after playing amazing for the Vikings for 17 games, or for 16 games, and then having two very horrific games at the end of the season. He gets paid 3 years, $100 million. The Seattle Seahawks, I don't know, man. This is a big debate. Did they downgrade at quarterback? Did they upgrade? I don't know. I kind of just think that they're the same player. I kind of just think we're kind of just here with them, and I don't think that the needles moved all that much. But Darnold's younger. Maybe he kind of, there was a lot of hype for Darnold coming out. He was potentially going to be the number one pick. I don't know. Maybe this is like just the resurgence that Darnold needed, and now he's found a home. Like Baker. This is like the exact same deal.
True.
3 years, $100 million that Baker signed before he got a contract extension with the Bucs. So,
Yeah.
Maybe very similar here. Yeah. Cooper Kupp is now a Seahawk, signing a 3-year, $45 million deal. Salute to the fallen soldiers. Play the horn thing, and
It's the only jersey I have, bro. It's the only jersey I have. It's a good New Jersey.
And that's a St. Louis Rams jersey, too.
I know, right? Isn't it sick? Vintage.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Cooper Kupp. I don't.
A early one.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really going to work out at this point in his career. Obviously, he's a little injury prone, and he had a down year last year. And there is a reason the Rams decided, we are going to move on Kupp. And I usually, default to I trust the good organizations when they do this stuff. But again, in my head, I'm like, it's Cooper Kupp. If he's healthy, he's going to be really good. So we'll see. And then DeMarcus Lawrence comes over from Dallas. You guys remember early in the offseason when him and Micah beefing. And now Micah Parsons could join him in Seattle because he might get traded. Who knows? That
would be crazy.
And it was all for nothing. All right. Here's the draft class. John Snyder's been very, very good at...
Didn't they have Shaq Griffin before?
They did.
Too?
Yes, and he's returned. Yes, he's back. Obviously, they took Gray Zabel in the first round, offensive tackle. Might play guard out of North Dakota State. And then Nick Amawari, who is the South Carolina safety. Very good pick. And then I do want to highlight Elijah Arroyo. Just because, Arroyo, excuse me. They did cut Noah Fant, and this makes me think that this guy's probably going to be the starting tight end.
He's played a lot in the preseason, yeah.
And he's looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle fans are also calling this draft, like, they're saying this is,
the future.
the 20.
They love Jalen Milroe, too, I know that.
Yeah, so Jalen Milroe getting taken in the third round, they're saying it's like the Russell Wilson draft, where I do gotta say, I really like what I see from Jalen Milroe. If it doesn't work out with Sam Darnold, maybe you have a potential quarterback of the future with, Jalen Milroe, who is hyper athletic
Mm-hmm.
and is just a fun as hell player. If he can put it all together, very similar to Jalen Hurts in that way, same school and everything.
Yep.
Obviously, last year they did take Byron Murphy, who did not do all that much, but you're hoping for a year two jump for him. Depth chart, courtesy of our lads. Again, you see a lot of new faces, a lot of rookies that you're going to be depending on, but I mean, I just really like the freaking lineup, guys. JSN is here, my wide receiver one in fantasy for my team, so I'm obviously going to be rooting for him in Darnold action. Torrey Horton, the rookie. Also, Jake Bobo, we'll want to mention him, as well as Marquez Valdez Scantling. I think it's a pretty deep receiver room, especially if Cooper Kupp is healthy. The offensive line's pretty good too. Charles Cross, Gray Zabel looking to start at guard for this team, like I said. And then Olu Olawatmi is the center. Christian Haynes is the right guard. And then Abraham Lucas is the tackle. I think it's a pretty solid offensive line, guys. These guys
Corey
have been
Horton's
here.
look good.
Yeah, these guys have been here multiple years. So right now, AJ Barner's the starting tight end. But again, Elijah is probably going to take over here and be the starter as a rookie. If you guys are looking for a deep, sleeper tight end for your fantasy team, I would give him a hard look if you can't get your hands on Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. So
Same thing with running back. Charbonnet was really good when he was the starter last year.
yeah, and Charbonnet's also looked really good in the preseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing Kenneth Walker in the preseason for obvious reasons because he's hurt.
You know who else has
Um,
looked good is George Alani too. All three of those guys have been, yeah.
yeah, so I think it's a really good running back room, and even if you Kenneth Walker, I think Charbonnet, and then maybe obviously Martinez is the rookie in this room. Maybe he can emerge as something. The QB room is completely new with Sam Darnold. Drew Lock is back in Seattle, and then Jalen Milroe, the rookie. I obviously it's gonna be Darnold's team right now, and he did look good in his one drive in the preseason, so I do want to give Darnold credit there.
He did, yeah, very efficient.
Yeah, that offense looked really good in the preseason, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, you only got one new starter in here, and that is DeMarcus Lawrence. But keep in mind, in the secondary here, if anything were to happen to Julian Love or Kobe Bryant, Nick Amawari is here. And even when Seattle, they do like running like three high looks, I expect all three of those safeties to be out there. And I just think it's a really good safety room. Obviously, Josh Jobe, Tariq Woolen, and then Devin Witherspoon is a pretty good secondary. And then obviously, we talked about them bringing Shaq Griffin. I think it's a good story. So there you go. The defensive line, I hope, is Byron Murphy. Hopefully, as a nose tackle, you get a bigger U2. Jaron Reed, and then DeMarcus Lawrence, passer. For the linebackers, Terrence Knight, Ernest Jones, and Noosu is the former Charger, by the way, is the linebacking core. Again, guys, and then Jason Myers has been the kicker here for a while. I just think that, if maybe they upgraded the offense and then the continuity defensive, I just feel like 7.5 is like criminally low. Like, am I a Sam Darnold guy now? Like, I didn't believe in it all last year.
Yet
And then,
again, they have not very, the strength of schedule is low too, just like all the teams in this division. They all have easy schedules for the most part, except maybe us probably.
yeah, we'll get to you guys. You guys have the hardest schedule, unfortunately.
Great. Awesome. Super fun.
No schedule is too hard for my goat, Jared Verse.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that scares Jared Verse, and we'll talk about it when we get there.
Oh my god.
The only thing that scares Jared Verse is the super fan that Jared Hickman is. All right, let's get into the schedule though. Starting out with San Francisco is tough, but I mean it's very doable. You know, San Francisco always kind of loses early on. Going to Pittsburgh is tough as well. Saints, you should be able to chalk that up to a W. Arizona, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, all warm weather places for Seattle. And then Houston, going into your bye week. So, first half of the schedule, again, if you're a Seahawk believer, you think after those first two wins, or after those first two games, outside of the Tampa game, maybe you can rack up some wins, you know? Then out of your bye, you're going to Washington, play Washington in the Deebo Samuel revenge game. Oh, wait, that's the Niners. Never mind. Excuse me. We're on Seattle. And, if you're ever going to play Washington and go over there, this is probably the time you want to do it out of your bye week, which is probably one of the tougher games in your schedule. Arizona and the Rams once again. And then the Titans should be a win. Minnesota, I'm not a J.J. McCarthy. Hopefully a win. I'm not an Atlanta believer. A win. Indianapolis, a win potentially. You got Carolina on the back end of your schedule. Talked about Bryce Young. And then ending your season with the Niners. So a little tougher schedule, but again, you're not playing like a lot of world beaters here. You're just not, depending on how you feel about some of these teams.
3, potentially. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 7.5.
7.5 seems low.
Exactly.
Are we gonna say over for all 4 teams, bro? Oh my god. Well, I know Tyler said under for the Niners, but like Ryan and I are like,
you know what I might do? I might retroactively say the Niners are gonna go under because I just like these other teams more.
I like them more too. Yeah.
Like, oh my god. I guess I'm a Sam Darnold guy now. I don't know, man.
He was good last year. We'll see with this offense, but
obviously you look at the win total and the fact that they are predicted to get 4th in this division. Vegas is not a believer in Sam Darnold, so the odds makers don't think that they think it was Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings, Justin Jefferson. We'll see, we'll
could
see.
Be. Yeah.
And it could be. And we're all going over again. Lovely. Perfect. 13th to win the conference.
I'm not going first when we do the standings. I'm not going first.
Yeah, no, you can go first, right?
I don't want to go first. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I always go
Neither
first.
do I. None of us do.
All right.
Damn it. All right. Here's the Rams. What is Aaron Donald?
SpongeBob and Aaron Donald.
What is happening right now?
Tyler, I feel like you should know this at least. If you remember, Jared Verse was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go work out with AD. Yeah, like you better be able to keep up with me." And
oh yeah, AD's insane. And yeah, he was
Jared
like,
Verse
"What
was
the
like,
heck is?"
Like I'm gonna call the police, and I'm pretty sure
He's
AD
like-
said, "I am the police. You're in my house."
Right.
So this is
No, literally, bro. He's a freaking workout maniac.
and then
From what I've heard.
And then apparently he went to Rams practice, and when Verse saw him, he went, "Oh hell no!" Like just just. I was like, dude, like, Devil showed up at practice to say hi, like, hey. So he's from this episode of SpongeBob. It's the Fear of the Krabby Patty, where they're open for 24 hours, and SpongeBob is not getting any sleep whatsoever, so he's starting to see everybody as a Krabby Patty. So, and then as he's freaking out, Mr. Krabs drags him back to the kitchen to calm him down. But this is just, in this interpretation, Donald dragging Verse to the back for another torturous workout. And as he's getting dragged, SpongeBob is shouting, "No, I want to live." So, kind of fits.
And you won A, and we can credit Aaron Donald for a Jared Verse Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign. I mean,
Yeah.
keep doing it. Just keep dragging him to the back, and yeah. All right, we're gonna go through this. Tyler, if at any point jump in and complain or praise your team, just do what you got to do throughout this. This is just what it's gonna be. So let's get into the Rams.
If I hear one whose house, I swear to God. That's all I'm gonna say. No, I went to a game last year. I did not want to hear it 20 million times. Just saying, don't.
Wait, they said it at your game?
No. When I went to the Rams-Bills game, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they said whose house like
20
million times. I was like, I don't.
Oh yeah, no, they overplay that like.
I'm like, I don't get how Rams fans can get behind this chant when it's used. Like, I know
it is a lot. No, yeah, for sure.
And plus, it didn't help when half the stadium was shouting Bill's house. So.
I mean, it was an up and down season. It was basically just look 5-4, 5-3, like
Yeah, this team dealt with a lot of injuries, but still, down the stretch, and honestly, at the beginning of the season when Puka was hurt, they just could not move the ball offensively. Once he came back, I don't want to like overstate it, but Puka,
that was a big difference maker.
Like, I saw that they're, how every season they release like their, here's what the league, like the GMs and everything and the coaches think are the top 10 players at every position. They did the receivers, and I thought Puka got snubbed. No, Puka did not get like any votes for top 10, and I was like, this is very surprising.
Wow.
It's very, I don't know. So yeah, 5-4. Yeah, 5-3.
Especially in that Bills game, bro.
Where I do want to give the Rams the most credit, obviously they beat Minnesota, and
after the fires too.
Yeah, you beat Minnesota, and you destroy Sam Darnold. So maybe there is potential there for like a lingering kind of like we still own you, Sam Darnold, where Seattle, right? I just want to give them the most credit because they gave Philadelphia the hardest game that they had that entire
snow game was so awesome.
And the snow game was awesome.
Game, bro.
And it came down to the last drive, and they had a chance, but obviously, you're asking your guys to do a lot when you're throwing in the snow. They obviously lose in the divisional to Philadelphia 22-28, but they
to
gave
the Super Bowl champions though.
You could make the case this was the Super Bowl,
I want to add to this. Like you say, asking your guys to do a lot. Apparently, it's too much to ask for Kyren Williams to hold on to the ball because he fumbled on back-to-back possessions in that game. So, Kyren, I don't know, maybe work on holding on to the goddamn ball. That's all I'm gonna say because the Rams probably would have won if you don't fumble.
He did fumble quite a bit last year.
They gave him an extension, so I'm assuming that they trust that
he's good. He is good. He does have turnover issues
at probably the worst possible time.
Offensively, obviously, I don't think that the ranks for the season long tell the whole story because this was very much a first half of the year versus second half of the year team. For the totality of the year, though, 15 in offensive passing, running the football, they were 20th. And then total points scored 20th. Defensively, 27th against the pass. The secondary just was not good. And then running the ball, they were against the run, they were 21st. And 17th against just points total scored defensively. So, again, I didn't get the numbers for what were they the first half versus the second half. But I promise you, if you watched football at all last year, you knew this was. Here is the staff. Les Snead, again, one of the best GMs in the sport. This whole division outside of Arizona, it just has very long tenured GMs, and they're all very good. Sean McVay, you can make the case, and I would probably make the case, outside of Andy Reid, this would be like the number one draft pick for if you're starting a franchise with a coach outside of Andy Reid, you're probably taking McVay because of youth, as well as the offensive excellence that he brings year in and year out.
And the testosterone.
Mike LaFleur. Yeah. What?
Carry on.
What did you say?
And the testosterone that he brings on the sidelines.
He's great. He's awesome.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He's such a good coach. Offensively, Mike LaFleur, who is the brother of Packers head coach
Matt
LaFleur. He's in his third year as offensive coordinator. Potentially could be the next, offensive mastermind to get a head coaching job. We'll see if he's like his brother. I don't know if he's got the fake because the Rams just get hurt so often, man. Like Chris Shula in his second year as defensive coordinator, I would imagine he's going to be on a short. This defense does not improve with all of these rookies and everything. I mean, last year they were a very young defense. You can tell they really started to put it together, led by Jared Verse. So, I would expect these numbers to get better, and if they don't, I think you might see a change at defensive coordinator. We'll see. Chase Blackburn, third season as the special teams coordinator here. The other thing about the Rams is they just don't have a lot of money right now. Like their money's tied up in a lot of players. So they could not make huge moves in the offseason, but I've highlighted the losses and additions I think matter the most. So Cooper Kupp, we already talked about him going to Seattle. Again, fallen soldiers, rest in peace. They trade Jonah Jackson to Chicago. So a potential hole there on the offense and a couple stop gaps in Humphrey and Quessenberry to fill the hole. We'll see what the depth chart says. And then Bobby Brown goes to Carolina. The only other guy that I really thought was like, okay, this is a big loss. And by big, I mean he's a nose tackle. Massive. You guys know I just love big men. So, in free agency, obviously bringing over Devontae Adams from the Jets is a huge addition. And I think at this point, he's probably an upgrade over Cooper Kupp, I would argue. Just because
that's a tough argument. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll know very early in the
Mm-hmm.
Who won the kind of receiver swap out, right? Coleman Shelton comes over from Chicago. They swap one guy, goes to Chicago. They bring a guy in Chicago. This guy's probably going to be the starting center. He might move over to guard. We'll see what the depth chart says. And then Poona Ford, Jared, another fallen soldier here, comes over. Or, he only had about a 10-minute drive to go from one place to the other. So 3 years, almost $28 million here to go from the Chargers to the Rams. So I thought that, they did a good job at filling the holes that they had, swapping some guys out, bringing some guys in.
Bobby Brown's tough. That's a tough one.
One of the Rams' struggles on defense last year was stopping the run. Poona Ford will definitely help with that, especially when they have to face the Eagles, considering Saquon Barkley absolutely ran over them like a treadmill.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the snow.
All right.
So no first-round pick for the Rams this past year, but they did draft Terrence Ferguson at tight end. Yeah, I mean, it's not very surprising for this team. Josiah Stewart, defensive end out of Michigan, player here. And then Jarquez Hunter, running back out of Auburn. If you do see a fumbling issue, maybe,
Blake
they could do something there.
season.
But they did bring in Hall of Fame. They did also bring in a Hall of Fame
Chris Paul.
He's going to be splitting time between the Clippers and the Rams. So having a good distributor on the field, he's obviously a high IQ player. He doesn't really have the size, weight-wise, to play middle linebacker. But I do think he's going to be such a field general that he should be able to just raise the IQ of this defense. They needed veteran presence. This is a young
green dot.
So bringing in a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, bringing in a future Hall of Famer, a guy who I think is one of the most underrated time, I think is going to help this defense out a lot.
Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen,
And then,
the Intuit Dome is
last
literally
year,
right across right down the block from SoFi. They're like right there next to each other. So.
Yes. Yes, which is exactly why this is completely true that this is NBA future Hall of Famer point guard Chris Paul, right? And not some linebacker from Missouri. Um,
We sure hit on our
obviously,
picks last year, that's for sure. Dang.
yeah, a lot of good draft picks last year. Obviously, both defensive linemen out of Florida State and Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk. Just two dudes that, I mean, they were really good, man. They're really good. And obviously, this team, I think, is going to have a very improved defense. As far as those numbers are, because you saw it in the second half. All right, let's let the load. Here's the lineup. Devontae Adams coming in here. He's going to be the X. Puka on the other side of him. And then Tutu Atwell still here in the slot. I mean, it's a great top three receivers, man. Offense should be humming if Matthew Stafford, you can see him in red. We know that means. But he was back at practice today. First day practicing was literally today. Or maybe it was yesterday at this point. I don't, whatever. He's back at practice and he's throwing. So maybe everyone's kind of overblown. Stafford's hurt. Like, yeah, guys, we know he's like in 17 or whatever, and like 37 years old. He's old. He does this every offseason. Maybe that's just what it is.
Yeah,
obviously Coleman Shelton comes in here. He's the starting center, like we talked about. The only injury, Alaric Jackson, but you did bring in two tackles here, DJ Humphrey and David Questenberry. You have options to just kind of swap them in and out to see who the better player is, but you really need to protect Matthew Stafford, because if you don't, and he gets hit like at all, he's gonna break. He has a bad back, very bad back.
Yep.
It's a really good tight end room too, guys. Like Tyler Higbee's obviously really good. Then Colby Parkinson, and then the rookie Terrence Ferguson. Like, I don't know. I think it's a good tight end room. Stafford obviously is really good, but if something were to happen to him, you do have veteran quarterback Jimmy, who is just not really good at football. So he's there. He exists. And Devontae Adams,
all right in the preseason.
Yeah, Devontae Adams just might retire if Jimmy G just becomes the starter. So I don't know if that's what Rams. Maybe
I want to see.
Maybe
that
you have something.
I want to see the awkwardness. I want to see the drama.
Hey, Stetson led a game-winning drive in preseason yesterday or Saturday.
Yeah, maybe you have something there with him. And then running back room, we know about Kyron Williams. We know about Blake. Jarquez Hunter, the rookie. And then shout out to Fresno State legend Ronnie Rivers, who is fourth on the depth chart, but will definitely get carries at some point this year. He always
does. Yeah.
I'm going to just say with Stafford, Jimmy G, and Bennett, you guys might have the oldest QB room in the NFL.
I know. Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett might be the oldest. He might be the oldest. Yeah. All right. Defensively, the whole lineup's back, but you're adding Poona Ford and Nate Landman, so get some veteran leadership into young guys. Obviously, you want to hit on draft picks of Chris Paul and Ty Hamilton, but Braden Fisk is awesome. Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Omar Spites, Jared Verse, Darius Williams, Cam Curl, Cameron Kitchen, Akello Witherspoon, and then Quentin Blake. It is just,
we're stacked defensively, honestly.
It's a lot of young talent, and I just don't think people
really they're producing.
Know. They just don't really know who
they don't
these
know the
guys
names.
are.
Yeah.
They don't know them yet, but they will. Everyone knows Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, but
Kobe
very
Turner.
soon,
some people know Kobe Turner. Yeah.
Very soon, everyone will know how good this defense is. This might be the best LA football has been in a long time between the two of your teams. Here's the schedule for you guys. It is the hardest in the division, but that comes with the territory of being the best team in the division. Start out in Houston. After that, you got to give me against Tennessee. By the way, that Tennessee game, week 2, they're going to be coming off getting demolished by Denver's defense. So, kind of handing you a W there, hopefully.
Hopefully,
Imagine Cam Ward just comes
just
out
goes
and is just
crazy.
the greatest quarterback of all time, and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be rough.
I mean,
Lord.
Cam Ward
then
thinks they have a top
you
5
go-
receiving core. I'm just gonna say that. I'm speaking with
Apparently, yeah.
Cam Ward. Cam Ward is
Yeah.
a top 5 receiving core.
Crazy.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. That's all I'm saying. And then we have a divisional rematch. You guys go back to Philadelphia. Hopefully, a little revenge game
And a lot
early
less
in the
snow.
season. Yes, you would think so, right?
Yeah.
Then Indianapolis, Thursday night football against the Niners, classic, happens every year. Prime time against San Francisco. Got to have that Kyle Shanahan versus Sean McVay matchup. And then Baltimore, man, it's not the easiest schedule, but the Rams do have to stay healthy.
We have to play
then
some of the best teams in each division.
Oh no, you guys play Jacksonville overseas. It's over. You're not winning
Oh,
that game,
boy.
buddy.
Not
I'm
winning.
put money on it right now. You're not
Yeah.
winning that game.
Yeah.
Just because it's probably the London game, and Jacksonville is
I'll look right
it's
now.
going to be Travis Hunter in his first overseas game.
Mhm.
Oh no,
I'll look right now if that's in London.
it has to be. It's a 6:30. I think it is.
Well, I might have to go to that Sunday San Francisco game.
Oh, I
Dang.
thought you were about to say I might have to go to that London game. Like Tyler
You have to
overseas.
go to London, man. You know?
That'd be crazy.
But after that tough schedule, kind of, you come out of the bye week and you got
Wembley Stadium, London,
Wembley.
England.
Oh baby,
Ooh, Wembley. Dang.
Jacksonville by 21.
Oh
Straight
my
up.
God!
Man United, bro.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Sheesh.
They're gonna be Men
After
United
that Saints
after that game.
This guy.
big Men United.
Big Men United.
Shout out Puna Ford. Shout out Puna Ford. After you come out of the bye, you do have that layup against. Then back-to-back divisional games. That's always tough. And then following that San Francisco, Seattle back, you got Tampa Bay, who's going to be competing with you guys in the
Rough
NFC.
stretch.
But I will say this: if there's a coach that really knows Baker, it'll be Sean McVay, who spent time with the Rams, and that really revitalized his career. That one game against the Raiders.
Legendary.
Then a couple potential
Legendary.
gimmies, depending on how y'all feel about Arizona. I know we just went over it, but if Arizona has that collapse, you have Carolina, and then Arizona, Detroit, who could have kind of a step back year. You know, we'll see. We've kind of already done the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford matchup many times, so I just don't think that. You know, I don't know. Has Goff gone back to LA yet?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Only
Okay,
been
that'll
in
be
Detroit.
Goff going. Yeah, that'll be Goff going back to LA. So
Well,
potential, like,
I mean,
I think
he did face the Chargers in LA last year, but it not the
Talking
same.
about the Rams, bro.
Yeah,
That
not
doesn't
the same.
count. That doesn't
I'm
count.
just
Yeah.
doesn't
Why
seem-
has he got to break just because it's his team? He
Well,
brought
no, I
that
mean,
up,
I'm just
like-
saying, like, he's at least been back to LA once.
No,
That
yeah,
game,
but it's
like,
all about the trade and like.
true though. I
Uh,
mean, I guess it might soften the blow a little bit to going back. Who knows? Are the Rams going to show a tribute video? Or, like that stuff.
Probably. They should.
Who knows?
just photoshopped image. Just thank you, Jared. That's it. No video. Just thank you, Jared.
It's a picture of Jared Verse instead of Jared Goff.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
We got the better Jared now.
You guys got 3 birds to end your schedule. You got Seattle, you got Atlanta, and you got Arizona. So, kind of maybe a softer end of season schedule, but obviously this is going to be the toughest schedule in your division.
Playing teams that are fighting for playoffs too, probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say, like, you're probably gonna start 2-0 because since the Texans got rid of that entire offensive line, you guys are just gonna murder CJ Stroud.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So the Rams' current total obviously, shocking enough, the Niners were favored to win this. You guys are
I
second.
can't believe that.
But your
no
Super
shot.
Bowl, yeah, your NFC odds and your Super Bowl odds are still really high, tied for fifth. And
Wow.
this is
Yeah.
really like
This is
this
tough.
is gonna be like I will
I'm
easily
going
take the
over. Yeah.
like if
We're really putting. Okay. If
If
Stafford's
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 back is
is I don't know is
good,
like manageable. I don't know.
manageable, yeah.
Like just like if he can make it through the season, you'll win the division. But if at any point this guy gets hurt, like you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like
but
you're
Stetson
straight up
Bennett.
done.
But Stetson Bennett.
But nothing, buddy. Like let's just be real.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, then let me just go back to my other overs and say over if Sam Darnold is good at football. Over
Right.
if Kyler Murray
man, I don't know what do you
quits
want
Call
from
of
me?
Duty.
What do you want from me? Like literally, if like literally, like as of now, it's probably the biggest injury of the NFL season. If his back is not good, you know. So
Yeah, a lot of question marks around it. Yeah.
okay. So do I really have to go
Yes,
first?
you're
right
going
now? Is that
first.
what
You're going first.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So I am between two teams to put last in this division.
I mean, I am too.
Me too.
We'll
Yeah.
let you
And-
be the one to draw first blood.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Sorry, Nick.
I'm gonna go Seattle in last place. I really like what they did, but I just think the other teams in the division are better. I think so for context, my best friend is a Seahawks fan. So
Oh.
yeah.
Was that the one who was watching the draft with us?
He was in the call, yeah,
Okay.
at some point. So look, I just think that while this team might be set up for the future, I do think that there is going to be kind of a learning curve with Darnold, and again, I could see every single team in this division being over 500. I'm pretty sure I put over for every single team. But I just think Seattle has the most question marks of any team. So in third place,
Oh God.
I'm going to put the Niners in third. Potentially missing the playoffs here. Again, a lot of moving parts defensively. And I could really see the Niners getting last place and Seattle getting third. A lot of moving parts. You guys know. This isn't even really a Brock. This isn't even a Brock prediction. Like I just think that when you pay the quarterback, it is very hard to build up a roster. And if John Lynch has done that in the draft and his guys hit, then the Niners will be fine. They have one of the easiest schedule in the NFL.
It's true.
But again, the receiving core is very bad right now. Like everyone's hurt already. So I don't know, man. It's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of question mark, and I'm going the Niners in third.
I mean, I was in Santa Clara a few weeks ago. Like they could have signed me, as wide receiver tryout. Just saying.
Stu wouldn't even
I
play
was
football
there.
with us in the street.
Yeah.
You were,
This dude wouldn't even
you
play
were
football with us
playing
in the
on
street,
goddamn asphalt. I'm not getting tackled and getting smeared
We weren't tackling.
yet.
I caught a great ball. I remember that.
I have Arizona in second. I think that this is finally a year that they kind of put it all together. I think they'll rack up some wins in the early part of the season, and then as long as in that second part that we talked about, they can just go like 3-3 down the stretch, then they could potentially be a playoff team, sneak in and be one of those teams. We have to have new playoff teams every year, and this year I'm leaning towards Arizona being one of those new playoff teams. So, and you guys know I'm high on Kyler
Because of
Murray.
the defense,
I think he's
too.
become underrated, and I think the defense will be improved. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
This is
Stafford's back.
and we're crossing our fingers there. If Stafford is healthy, the Rams will win this division. If he is not healthy, they'll probably get last. I'm gonna be real. Like they'll probably you can pick all these guys up and move them all up one spot, and then just move the Rams to the bottom, and I'll have Arizona and the Niners probably playoffs. So that's my order for right now, boys. This is very tentative, by the way. Like we're gonna do our predictions.
This
in 2
division
weeks.
is tough.
This will change. This division and the next week's divisions. That is my order. I have Seattle in 4. I have the Niners in 3. I have Arizona as a surprise team right now, coming out of the NFC, potential playoff spot, and then the Rams are going to win. Who is going next, boys?
Do you want to go last, Tyler, or do you want to go next?
I'll go. That's fine.
Okay.
It's kind of how our order is right here, anyway.
Okay.
On the screen. Well, you saw that I was kind of the only person to take the under.
Do it.
For the Niners, so I'm gonna go with the Niners as the last team. I don't know, like you said, I don't see the depth being there in the receiving core. If CMC goes down, he's very injury prone. We know this. That's a big problem. They don't have depth at the running back position. Thank you. And that's for all the whiners about Shanahan that we talked about.
Seriously, dude.
And so we're just gonna switch those. Don't know what to call these.
I'm totally stealing that now.
Bang bang whiner gang.
I had to steal it. He's so good, so good.
I don't know what to say.
Sam Darnold is good. This whole division is like the Justin Herbert division. It's like
if
the division,
then this could
I'm
happen.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Why did you use that analogy? He's gonna freak.
It was such an easy layup, man. I had to do.
Oh Lord.
I'm just not gonna say anything because I saw some, if true, good news about my QB. So on Chargers Reddit.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw that too.
Dude,
we'll
my man. My man.
Talk about it. We'll talk about it on the next episode. I'll talk about it during the AFC West because that will be that will definitely factor in to the record.
Kyler MJ's. That's what you said.
Perfect. Wow. Okay. You had the balls to put the Niners in last place.
And of course, the Rams going the homer route, picking his team in first.
I can't wait for next week when he puts he's totally going to put the Chargers in last place.
Dude,
I just know he is.
Right.
Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, how I do the standings is going to be depending on how I'm feeling that night. If I'm feeling good, who knows?
Yeah, no, literally. This
If
guy only operates on one night emotion. At that moment,
I play my emotions by day.
I don't know what to call it. Shoot.
Just put my team, my Rams.
Team.
Aaron Donald's House of Horrors.
Oh, I'll do this just to piss Jared off.
Whose house? That's crazy. Oh.
F that chant, man.
We're just like
pick me.
We're getting so unhinged with this shit.
We're just
sorry.
like
you're good. It's at the end. I don't care.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right. Jared?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the balls like Tyler to put all the Niners in last place. I've just been kind of thinking, and just going back to what we said. Man, I
I don't
agree.
hate him either. I just like
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
don't
just,
see it.
I mean, obviously the injuries already doesn't help, but I don't see the Niners finishing in
The
last
strength of schedule though. Yeah,
It's a
because
very easy
here's
schedule,
the
yeah.
thing:
you're right.
if
I
Brock
probably
got
screwed
paid
up. It's
all
okay.
that money, and if he does not play well, regardless of injury, player personnel, whatever, it's going to look like a bad contract. And it's like, did you really need to
Yeah.
commit to the guy? I mean, we know we led you to the Super Bowl.
I kind of want to change it
But
to Ryan's now. Damn.
Look, hey, don't look. This is written in pencil. We'll give our actual predictions in the next 2 weeks after we finish the AFC West. We'll do our season predictions. We'll give you our playoff teams, everybody. So just
How much is gonna change though?
we'll see. We'll see.
I
don't know, man.
Mm.
He's such an Arizona hater. I know he's.
Me?
Yeah, you don't like Kyler Murray, huh?
No. I mean, I don't mind Kyler Murray. And plus, I love the state of Arizona. Do not get me wrong. I will go visit Arizona any time of year. Even, like, now, I will go visit Arizona.
I feel like us as a collective, we're just... Dude, all right, go ahead. I see, I knew it. I knew he was going to put Cardinals. I knew it. I know it, dude.
It's just because
you're right.
You talked about, like, a lot of, like, moving parts. Like, the defense was not as good last year. Even though they were around 500, I just do not know. I need to see, and plus with Kyler, you said this could be his last season if he does not play well. That does not give me a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So we'll see. In third, I'm... Spell it right. There we go. From my Mariners, the Seahawks in third, across the street. They literally are. Both their stadiums are across the street. Second. Yeah, second. It's pretty obvious. I have the Rams in first and the Niners in second. I'm just trying to... man, the names for the Niners. What do I...
Just copy. I think that's
right,
pretty good.
Gang, Niner, bang. Okay.
This guy, bro.
All right.
And then
your uniforms are IKEA's colors. Okay. All right.
What, bro?
Okay.
Literally, y'all are.
Okay.
Y'all are IKEA.
He's not wrong, but like, damn.
Anytime I see IKEA, I'm like, oh, I wonder if the Rams ever practice there or just.
They changed them, yeah. Used to be like this. Used to look nice.
Hot take. I liked the St. Louis ones better.
So did I love the St. Louis stuff, bro. Brings me back. Tavon Austin, Todd Gurley, Emery's, man.
Shout out Tavon, bro. All right, so your NFC West predictions are as follows. Jared, he's got the Rams winning it with the Niners in second, Seattle third, and Arizona in fourth place. Tyler has got the Rams in first, the Cardinals in second.
I screwed up.
Seattle in third, and the Niners in fourth place. I have currently the Rams, barring Stafford's back, in first place. Kyler in second place with the Cardinals, the Niners in third, and Seattle in fourth place.
Well, I do like how, aside from our top spot, like at least our 2 through 4 are all different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
That's how this division is, man.
Nice. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes. Oh, I already got my song ready. I already got mine ready.
Every time.
All right. Ooh, let me get that zoomed in. Let me get this pulled up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here, every episode at the end, of the podcast, we want to give you a song recommendation. And that could all be found in the description of. It could all be found in the description. So.
Tyler's already bopping to a song.
All right. I don't have my song prepared yet.
I have mine.
So. Okay, you give me your song.
All right. The song is called Epiphany.
How do you spell epiphany?
It's E-P... Hold on, I was just listening to it on the way home. Okay. E-P-I... P-H...
P-H?
A-N-Y.
Okay.
All right. And it's by Unwell, who we've already listened to a song from them.
Nice. Let me see here. What are we cooking up this week? You know, I'm gonna stick with the JID album that came out. Obviously, right now, I think it's my album of the year. It's really freaking good, man. Highly recommend everybody checking it out. This week I'm gonna go with No Boo by Jid, and Jesse Reyes is on this track. Spanish singer, and Jid sings a little bit of Spanish on this track near the end, so I thought that was pretty cool. And me and my friend Oz, shout out to him, we were talking about it, the album. He listens to a lot of hip hop too, and this was his favorite song off the album. So and we were talking about it. Next time we go and do like karaoke or something, we're gonna do. The only question is who's gonna be Jid, and which one of us is going to be the Spanish female singer, Jessie. I gotta brush up on my Espanol if that's gonna happen. Regardless, No Boo by Jid, Jesse Reyes. Kind of a slower, softer song, but really, really good. Really good. Highly recommend. And we'll listen to it right here shortly. Tyler, you got one yet, my friend?
No Boo is just what I say when Boo gives up a home run in Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
You're good. Take your time, man. We'll cut this.
Boo throws a pitch right down the middle for freaking Bowser. No, Boo! No! But it's okay because I got the best outfield in the game with Mario and Yoshi. I made my friend crash out playing Super Sluggers because I had that outfield. Hits 3 straight dingers, all robbed in midair.
You know what? Real quick, you got one or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do it's called Chill Like That by Sunday Scaries and Pickup Lines.
Sunday Scaries and
Pickup Lines.
Pickup Lines. Okay.
I think it's one. Yeah.
Whoa! What is that? What happened? Okay. Like, was that good?
Yeah. Just okay. I think it's if you really it's actually don't even try and do how they spell it.
Okay.
It's like we'll it's capital P, lowercase I, like.
You know what? It's in the playlist, so you guys find it and listen to it if you want. All right. All right. And the last thing before we sign off here, boys, I do want to mention is I think this should be the first episode with the new intro, potentially. So we'll see if that's at the beginning. If it is, let us know what you think. I think it's freaking fire. I think it's great. And I think it's a good, funny little, it's gonna be interesting how Jared edits. Intro moment, funny intro moment, intro
I
song.
I probably won't do it for this episode. I'll have it just be the intro, so people see it first thing, and then going forward.
I mean, I got a moment for you because big men are the theme of this episode.
True, yeah.
I'm just saying, if you need one,
it's
up to you if you got the time. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and sign off on today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff that, whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Spotify or YouTube, whatever it allows you to do, please do that to support us. We really greatly appreciate it. I think that's all we got. Go Rams and go Dogs. See you in the next one.
Dogs. Dang, week 0.
See you next week, ladies and gentlemen, where Ryan and I are going to gaslight the absolute hell out of each other.
Yes.
See you in the next one.